think there's more to this. I've been reading some of these books that we fished up from the lake. They're strange. They seem to be from a time before this one, about a people, a civilization before this one, a time before ours. And there's wisdom here. There's great wisdom here. Sometimes it's easy to find yourself so focused on the goal that you forget to pay attention to where you're going and where you've been and everything along the way. And I think we spent so long trying to fish up a Silk Touch book to not even get one in the end. And you could view that as a failure. And in a way it is, but I chose not to wallow in that failure. And I chose to sit and read all of these books that are not the Silk Touch book, all of these enchanted books that we found deep within the lake. And I've learned so much about this land. There's so much here that I had no idea about. Long ago, these lands were home to a vast civilization, a strong and noble people, with great knowledge and wisdom that seems to have been forgotten. They understood the secrets of this world. They understood this magic, this enchanting nature to reality. These books themselves should have rotted away in the lake, but yet they remain. Something about them is enchanted. Their knowledge lives on. And there must have been a grand library near these shores, for this lake is full of these books. There's hundreds of them I've been fishing up. Too much, in fact. We have nowhere to store them. And amongst the pages, learning of kings and emperors and wars and festivals of old that are no longer celebrated. I'm trying to discern how these books were enchanted in the first place. What is enchanting? How does an object become enchanted? What did they know that we no longer do? I'll have to keep reading. But in the meantime, there are other things we need to take care of. Like the very simple fact that we are running out of storage in our small camp. We need more space. We need somewhere to store all of this, to store all of these books, everything we fished up, everything we collect from the world. So I think what I intend to do for now, until we can figure out this mystery, is expand our little camp downward. There's a little notch here in the hillside, and I think maybe if we dig in, create a bit of a space, this will do. This will be enough for us to store our things. Just a little hole in the hillside, a cellar, a vault, a repository full of chests and barrels and books and junk and everything we have kept safe. So, let me do this. Let me dig a hole. Let me move our things. Let me make ourselves a little storage room. Well, this became a little more than I expected. It is a junk room, I guess, but it has a feel. It feels full of stuff, barrels and chests and bits. I think this globe really gives it a mini Hogwarts room of requirement feel. You know, it's teeming with objects found from the world and it's crammed it all in to this small space. And of course it's practical. It fills the requirement of what we needed this for, because we were running out of storage. So now we have space, plenty of chests and barrels. But I like it. I like the feel that I've managed to achieve. I like the height difference in the floor always adds a bit of character. And then up here is where we can store most of the important books that we've managed to fish up. This little mini reading nook. I think this mod that adds the ability to place books and place these armor trims on little stands, I think this adds so much detail that vanilla Minecraft just doesn't have. And it's not game changing, like it very much could include something like this. But it's just, yeah, I love that you can just place books in piles. I think that's so immersive. Adds a lot of character to this desk. This chunky wooden desk. This little pestle and mortar and... yeah. Anyway, so this is our little storage room. This is our vault, our repository, our hole in the wall where we can store all of our things for now. But I have work to be getting on with. I have books to be reading. I have knowledge to be gaining. I have histories to learn and mythologies to comprehend. There's a mystery here that I want to solve. How do we enchant things? What is it in this world that allows an object to gain an enchantment? There's a really beautiful belief in Japanese Shintoism where if an object reaches 100 years old, it gains a soul. I think I really love that. I think that's beautiful. So maybe there's something there. Maybe that might be the key to this. When an object reaches a certain age, maybe. I don't know. Let me explore. Let me read some books. I'll let you know what I discover. I have read much and learned little, but I find a good way to process information and to think it all through is to go for a walk. Place one foot in front of the other and walk forward through the world and let your mind ponder. And whilst I've been walking, I have noticed something up there on the hill. It looks like an old ruin poking out from the trees, and I'm curious to explore something from the time before. It's fascinating to me, learning the history of this place. So come with me. Let us explore this old ruin, see what there is to be found. I'm not sure how we've never noticed this ruin up on the hill. I suppose it is kind of hidden amongst the trees, claimed by nature slightly. Also, it's very easy to get wrapped up in our day-to-day, our comings and goings, and neglect the things lost around us. Pieces of history that, if we choose to, can offer so much wisdom from times before. We don't know everything. We don't know everything. It's impossible. And there is much to be learned from looking into the past. So let's explore this place. It looks like it's been here for millennia. A crumbled ruin. Perhaps, I'm not sure what it is. It's giving me temple vibes. Maybe definitely a building of some importance. Wow. Wow. This atrium with the trees. This is beautiful. I love how it's reclaimed this space. Nature has decided to take back this patch of land where once stood something grand and meaningful to a people before. I wonder what they did here. I wonder what this was for. I think someone lived here, or lives here. I'm not sure. It's definitely signs that somebody called this little ruin home. But strange to imagine a lone person seeking refuge in the old ruins of whatever this place used to be. I wonder how long ago they took shelter here and lived amongst the memories of the past. And I wonder how much long before it was that this place existed in all its glory, providing whatever it did to the people who built it. It's very grand, almost religious, maybe, or ethereal. The white stone is giving a sense of purity, maybe, or elegance, or something. I'm not sure. It's giving me a sense of something. It's hard to understand the thinkings of people before you and trying to imagine what mattered to them. You know, there's so much in our life that we don't realize is decided for us, that is just part of culture and society that surrounds us, that we take for granted as a given. But people from a different culture, a different society, a different time, may have thought differently, may have not seen the world the way we do. And for me, that, in essence, is where much can be learned. Question your world around you. And one of the greatest ways to do that is to experience someone else's world. Stand in someone else's shoes, in a different place, in a different time, and maybe it'll make you look differently upon your own life. Anyway, this is very philosophical, but I think we should head back down and continue exploring this place. It's fascinating. And it's very beautiful. I can't really imagine what it must have looked like before, but I'm really enjoying what it looks like now. It is very Breath of the Wild, Temple of Time vibes to me. Something important happened here, maybe. Maybe people worshipped or learned. Maybe it was a place of study, a place of knowledge, of learning. Not sure. But yeah, I do love that. The broken stained glass window in the back. Can I imagine what that must have looked like when it was complete? And the sunlight shining in through the coloured panes. Well, I assume they were coloured panes. I'm imposing my own ideas of things upon this. Maybe they weren't. But I'm sure it was beautiful. As it still is. There's a beauty in a ruin. I find there can be great beauty in ruins. Sometimes even more than when they were whole. Oh, it continues down. Interesting. There is more. There is more here. There is more to be found underneath. Wow. What is this? It's almost as if it's been preserved slightly underneath the earth. The basement, the undercroft, the lower chambers with... What is this? There's books everywhere. This must definitely have been a place of great knowledge. And all of these books have remained. So much wisdom must be here in all these pages. And this... What is this? This altar. Interesting. I understand now what was lost through time, what was forgotten long ago. The magic of this enchanting world. It all makes sense now. I have learned so much from these ancient books. It seems we have lost a deep understanding of the nature of reality. Those that came before knew that there is more to life, there is more to everything than what the peoples of today seem so focused on, so busy scurrying about their lives trying to acquire belongings and possessions and power. It's the nature of power that we today have misunderstood. What I have learned from the peoples of before is that any object that you wish to imbue power into, anything, anyone, in order for that entity to acquire power, you must imbue it, infuse it, instill within it knowledge. For knowledge is power. I'm glad we found this place. I'm glad we decided to go for a walk and explore the land a little. I've learned so much, and I feel connected to the past a little more. I understand these lands. We are not the only ones who have lived here. We are not the only patrons of these lands. And there were peoples before that thought differently, believed different things, and knew more than we did, it seems. And that should not be forgotten, but remembered. There is wisdom in the past. Not all that happened before was good. Not everything should be repeated, but our knowledge of it, our understanding of it, is vital for growth moving forward in life. People before us learned lessons so we don't have to. People before us made mistakes so we don't have to. And if we forget those mistakes, if we forget the lesson learned, then we are doomed to repeat them. So, it brings me joy knowing this ruin is here. Part of this world, just like we are. Part of its history. Anyway, I think that is mystery solved. I understand the nature of enchanting now. We just need to imbue our objects with deep knowledge to grant them the power we need to help us in our quest, in our life. And for my part, I learned a lot, and I'll continue learning. Life is forever learning. So, if you need me, you know where I'll be.